Greetings, fellow Rotoballers, and welcome back. It is the League Winners Preseason Extravaganza. My name is Joey Christopoulos, my co-host David Rispoli, and this is part one of a multi-part series. We're going to reveal our favorite players that may not be studs. They aren't exactly sleepers, but if you draft them at just the right price, they in fact could turn into league winners for the 2022 season. We're starting off with part one. It is our quarterbacks edition. Dave, welcome back. I'm getting that football feeling. I'm ready to do this.
I can't wait, Joey. I lost my winter weight. I'm in shape, ready for the season to talk and do nothing athletic. I'm excited.
It's couch season, baby.
It's couch season. Ready to put the weight right back on.
Where it belongs and where it will stay, because we're in our 30s now. Let's do it, man. Let's dive right into it. Now, these are guys who, look, they might not be the biggest hot names in the world. Maybe this first guy is, but if you draft them at just the right price, we think at their value right now, they could possibly turn into league winners for you this season. Yeah. So let's start off with Dave. Who else? Russell Wilson, the Denver Broncos. Now, this one seems fairly obvious. A lot of people think that he's going to do very well this year, but we're going to throw some numbers at you to just kind of hammer home that case. He's quarterback 12 right now on fantasypros.com. If you go there right now, he's 74th overall. We think that he could possibly be a top 5 play this year because Russell Wilson, in his 3 best QBR seasons, Dave, the Seahawks had a top 10 running game, and now that kind of went away. His numbers went down a little bit. Well, now with the Broncos, Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon are there. Javonte Williams, we all know, could possibly be a top 10 running back this year, so I like that a whole lot. Another fun fact, last year, Russell Wilson, 978 deep ball yards, ranked 3rd in the NFL last year, and in a stacked AFC West with Mahomes and a guy like Herbert, he currently ranked 2nd last year in yards per attempt among those 4 quarterbacks. You're asking yourself, how the hell did that happen? Well, because he ranks dead last in pass attempts among those 4 quarterbacks. I think that changes with Nathaniel Hackett with the Denver Broncos now at the helm. And then my final one, these are some easy ones, guys. Since 2015, 4,000 passing yards, he's done it 4 seasons. 30-plus touchdowns. He's done it 5 of the last 7 seasons. And everyone that thinks that he fell off the map last year, look at the thumb, Dave. Always look at the thumb injury. Before the injury, he had 10 touchdowns to 1 interception, 240 passing yards a game, 72% completion percentage. After the thumb injury, when he came back to gut it out for his team, 15 touchdowns, 6 picks, 213 passing yards a game, 61% completion percentage in 9 games. Those numbers don't lie. I think Russell Wilson could be a top 5 play this year.
See what I'm doing, Joey?
Are you cooking?
I'm cooking, baby, because finally we are going to see somebody let Russ cook. I know this for a fact because Seattle was dead last, Joey, in pass attempts in 2021 with 29. The new OC, Nathaniel Hackett, averaged 34.9 pass attempts per game. That was nice in the middle of the pack. We'll take it. It's a huge step up. They're going to be throwing more. And I think this just sets up. This is a match made in heaven. All the things that Russ did well, the Broncos do well. You look at the receiving core, how it matches up. Jerry Jeudy out of the slot. Russ had 122.9 passer rating when targeting the slot. He got a very reliable route runner. You need a big body a la DK Metcalf, okay? Cortland Sutton, his ADOT was 15.7, 2nd in the entire NFL. You need more bombs. There's KJ Hamler to catch those. I think Tim Patrick is an underrated number 3. And, of course, the extremely athletic tight end, Alberto. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is the deepest receiving core Russ has ever played with, and it's not close. Sorry, folks, the past 3 years. Here's the names of his number 3 receivers. Dwayne Eskridge and Freddie Swaim. Okay? Broncos is very deep. Now, maybe his number 1, I don't think Cortland Sutton is DK Metcalf. I don't think Jerry Jeudy is at the level of Tyler Lockett. I just mean it's deeper. I think there's more pass options, and it is just a couple of years removed from Russ Wilson finishing as that QB1 in 2017. It's in his range of outcomes, and I think this is the year he has the best shot to get right back to it.
Yeah, Dave, I'm right there with you. Ring the dinner bell. I think, the buzz is there in the national media. I think when you dive into the numbers, it also checks out too as well. On his new team, Russ is definitely going to get to do whatever he wants, and he's going to be cooking meals on the weekly. I really like that whole lot as a pick. Dave, just as another small one too as well, just kind of saw it on there right now. They got Aaron Rodgers as QB 13 right now. Look, I hate Dark Lord Rodgers. I am a Bears fan, but Dave, at QB 13, you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers can't finish in the top 8 somehow? The last 2 seasons, 85 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 8,414 yards. That's only 2 seasons, folks. That takes a Chicago Bears quarterback about 15 years to get to that point. I don't understand the rankings, so I like the value, Dave. What say you?
I got one stat for you, Joey, and it's for all the haters. And I'm actually in both sides. I'm in the haters camp, and I'm also in this camp in the fantasy wise. What are you doing putting Aaron Rodgers this far down? The biggest argument against him, Devontae Adams is not there. Well, here's his averages when Devontae Adams is not there. 254 pass yards, 2.1 tutties, passer rating of 112. He gonna be fine. He makes men out of boys. And this is the latest you've ever been able to draft him. If Rodgers is crypto, buy the dip, y'all. Do it.
Dave, let's move down the trough a little bit now. Now, these are guys who I think are outside the top 12, who actually could possibly jump into that top 12, top 10. Could also be guys that maybe you could start 4, 5, 6 times this year. This is the true league winner area right there. Look, I like Trevor Lawrence a lot. We're going to talk about some other position players in our other series coming up. But, Dave, I'm going to throw out Jameis Winston at QB 22, 158th overall. And here's why.
How dare you?
They're literally giving him away, Dave. They're literally giving him away. And here's what I like to say. Look, we could talk all we want about the 5,000 yards and the 30 for 30, right? That is a couple years ago, and he tore his ACL. But even on the Saints last year, it wasn't that bad, Dave.
Real quick, when you say 30 for 30, you're not referring to that ESPN did a documentary about him, about his LASIK surgery, Joey. What do you mean by 30 for 30? Just to clarify.
Dave, what if I told you for every touchdown a man threw, he gave one right back? The Jameis Winston story with Bruce Arians. Look, at QB 22, he literally is going for free. This is the thing. Last couple rounds in your draft, if you want to take a guy there, this is a flyer and see if you can play him on a week-to-week basis. Why not on Jameis? He was 5-2 with the Saints last year before he got hurt. Look, the passing yards weren't there in the first 3 games, which hurts his overall value when you look at it. But he was still on pace for 30-plus touchdowns last year, Dave. In those first 3 games, they had 2 blowouts, and they got blown out in another game. So the passing yards weren't quite there. But if you looked at it, he averaged 242 passing yards over the 3 games before blowing out his knee. And I just think, personally, the weapons are a lot better around him this year. We do not know if Alvin Kamara will be on the field or not, which lends it maybe a little bit closer to a passing style offense. I really love Chris Olave. Look, I can't have the Michael Thomas conversation right now because my therapy bills are just going out of the roof right now, fantasy-wise. But I do like the complementary pieces around there. I think the Saints have a really strong defense, and I think Jameis Winston – on a week-to-week basis can get you those 15 to 18 points, and you can stash him on your bench, and maybe you could turn into a trade piece. Maybe you could play him in a week with a bye week, or maybe, I don't know, just maybe he turns into a top 10 guy. I just love the value, Dave. You're getting him for pennies on the dollar. I think Jameis Winston could be a league winner, not your best player on your team, but a guy that goes, when you look back, you go, hey, this is an amazing draft pick, another major reason why I'm a contender this year.
All I can think about, Joey, is 2019 – on this very show, on this very YouTube channel, which, by the way, guys, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and like and subscribe right now to Rotoballer.
That's a good idea. It's a very sound choice.
Way more content. But I remember on this very channel, Joey, 2 years ago, me telling everybody that Jameis Winston on the Buccaneers was going to be a top 5 QB, and you mocked me. Oh, how you mocked me, Joey. And guess what? You've come around. You've come around. You've gotten LASIK. You can see clearly, Joey. Well, I want you to see who I'm going to talk about right now, okay? QB 28, Joey. Here's the thing. Come into my house of horrors.
Let's keep in mind, everyone, there's only 32 teams in this entire NFL, but I'm going to walk right now into Dave's dojo.
Because I was looking at all these late round quarterbacks, Joey, and I want a league winner for these people. I want these people to draft someone so late who could jolt into that top 12. So I started looking at all of the league winning QBs who have done that outside the top 12. And they have 2 main components. The first one is that they are a generational talent. And you know what? I looked, and none of these guys checked that box. None of them. None of them are Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so we can remove that.
So it's not generational. It's more like a trimester,
Yeah.
semester style talent. Is
Yeah.
this kind of what we're
No,
saying?
these guys
We're
are in
bringing it down a
these
little
guys are in summer school, Joey.
bit. Okay, cool.
The other component, which gave us 2019 Lamar Jackson, is rushing. They call it the Konami code. It's a cheat code in fantasy football, especially if your league only awards 4 points for passing touchdowns. Obviously, you want a guy running the ball, and it gets you 2 more points. What if I were to tell you there's a QB who was third in rush yards amongst QBs through the first 5 weeks? His name is Daniel Jones. Please don't click off. Don't skip this video. Wait a minute. Just hold on, folks. Hold on.
Oh, no.
The comments
having
are
a major malfunction.
The trolls are coming. Hold on. Daniel Jones. And had he not tripped over his dopey little feet, Joey, he would have had even more. Okay. After
he still has those feet, right? He still has both those feet.
He does. Okay. After that, he was concussed. Okay. But he was the QB8 in points per game. Mm-hmm. And since then, Joey, since last year, a lot has happened in the right direction in the Giants. They've really improved their O-line. They've got possibly the best O-lineman in the draft, Evan Neal. They've added some good pieces for the O-line in free agency. They draft a really shifty slot guy in Wan'Dale Robinson. They add to the mix of that. They still have Kadarius Toney, who's a yak monster. We still don't know what Kenny Golladay is capable of in the red and blue. And oh yeah, my favorite person to just take a little screen pass to the house, Saquon Barkley, now a full year removed from the injury. They got rid of their boomers at head coach and OC. In comes Brian Big swinging D-ball to right the ship, Joey. Okay, this is a guy who had 4 to 5 touchdown games in his rookie season. That is still within his range of outcomes. He's going QB 28. He's going after Kenny Pickett. He's going after guys that aren't even going to start a full season. This is a guy you can absolutely stream on bye weeks, and I encourage you to, because the Giants have PFF's easiest rated schedule this year. You're going to see tons of green lights. Make him your QB2, spot start him, and just maybe he'll end up being that top 15 guy you can start starting every week and trade your other guy.
Well, and keep in mind, there's guys like Tua Tagovailoa at QB 18, QB 19, that particular area, and if Daniel Jones is at QB 28, there is some upside there. I will definitely give that to you. And here's maybe where the eye test separates from the fantasy reality of, we all know Daniel Jones. The guy makes mistakes, okay? He has fumbles and interceptions. Does that ding your fantasy roster as much as you think it is? No, not really. And then the problem is, after he fumbles or gives it up, the team scores, they get the ball back, and then he has to rush it and get it all back. So he creates his own chaos, Dave. It's kind of what you're saying.
You're going to get on me about guys who makes mistakes. You just talked about Jameis Winston. Look, we're both picking guys. They're the poster child of mistakes, okay? Next to Sam Darnold seeing ghost, it's Daniel Jones, it's Jameis Winston. It does not matter. I still don't think the Giants' defense is that great. We talked about their division off air, Joey. It's totally up for grabs. I just think if there's a team that's going to take a step forward, it could be the Giants. And why not get a guy who has a high rushing floor, who's constantly running for his life? Just maybe he ties his shoes this year and he doesn't trip and fall. And, we're telling a different story.
I think the two keys to that one, too, is the schedule that you mentioned, a lot of green light matchups, which on the waiver wire, at the very least, is going to be very advantageous for fantasy football teams, and then the coaching. And I think that's the separator between, I know before the pre-pod we talked about a guy like Justin Fields, but you know what? No wide receivers, not so sure about the coaching staff, so him at QB 17, it's really not that great of a play, right? Even though Justin Fields has a very advantageous schedule this year. I just want to get that on the map right now. So we're trying to find some guys that if Daniel Jones can go from QB 28 to a QB 10 at that value and you have another stacked roster, you might have yourselves, folks, a league winner.
A league winner.
Thank you for checking out Roto-Ballers League Winners. This is the QB edition. Make sure you look out for the wide receiver, running back, and tight end editions that we have coming up very, very soon. I'm Joe Christopoulos, Dave Rispoli. We'll see you next time.